Hello and welcome to Making Up the Magic. My name is Eva, and yes, this is a channel. This is a real channel. And today I'm going back to my roots. We're going to be doing a historic makeup recreation. I'm using prime material. So ironically, I don't have the Kevin Aucoin book, and I don't have the Way Bandy book, but I do have the Joey Mills book. And let me tell you, I love this book. No, actually, it's a nice book. The funny thing that I noticed about books about makeup is that when you pick up these books that date from a certain time, you kind of realize that they kind of assume that you know what you're going to be doing. So the books themselves aren't very kind of, well, this is for an 80s makeup and this is how I do it. Because obviously the makeup artist Joey Mills was working in the 80s. And if you don't know him, I just want to warn you, if you Google search Joey Mills without putting makeup artist, you might find very shocking things that you cannot unsee after. I'm just warning you, just putting that out there. Now, I went through this book 2 years ago and I found it, and I was like, maybe there's something in here that I can discover about the 80s besides, looking at pictures and stuff. And when I got the book, the cover is gorgeous. I'm going to put the cover here over my face. And the cover spoke to me, and that's Kim Alexis. She was one of his muses and one of the girl of the 80s, like Brooke Shields. She was like the available version of Brooke Shields, and she did a lot of work in the 80s. And I think this look, for some reason, it spoke to me. I didn't know why. And I collected a bunch of images about the 80s, and there was a lot of pink blusher for some reason that kind of made me think that was like an 80s staple, pink blusher, for some reason. And I was going to film this video like a year ago, but I never got around to it. Instead, I did Way Bandy, and then I did Kevin Aucoin, because they're really related in terms of the makeup and how they did the makeup. Now, Joey Mills is not well known because he never really did editorial beauty. He tended to do more glamorous, attractive, soft, natural glamour. And he kind of slipped through the cracks of fashion because he, like I say, he didn't do any editorials. But for some reason, his work kept coming up on my radar, and something was flashing. It just, when your subconscious talks to you, or maybe it's Joey Mills, it doesn't really matter, and tell you there's something in this image that you need to see, and you don't get it, but you keep hanging on to these images and going like, what's wrong? This January, I was working at a Sephora location doing like a contract for a brand. And, you have to help people when they're choosing makeup, even if it's not the brand you're working for. And people kept going to Huda for that powder. And I was looking at the powder and it was talking to me. When makeup talks to you, that's my favorite thing. And I was just like, I know there's something here. And I was going to do the video that I was going to film today. Now I moved it to next week. So hopefully in a week, your time, you're going to see a video. But my point is, I just noticed that Huda Beauty, that brightening powder, was actually pink lilac. And when I was looking again at these images, so I'm just going to put them side by side, you can see there's some pinky lavender around her eyes to brighten them. And not just this picture for the cover, but other pictures that he did makeup on. And that was his technique. And Huda saw that. Huda took that and she turned it into a trend. But actually, It's actually an 80s trend. Oh my God, guys, I'm so happy. You know, when you connect the dots and it kind of makes sense and you're like, oh my God, I get it. I get it. You know, boop, 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 boop. Fireworks everywhere. So yeah, that's what happened. So thank you, Joey Mills. Now, the book itself is really cool because he understood that a lot of people kind of don't really know how to do makeup simply because they don't have the color palette. And there's color palettes in there by hair color and also by skin tone. So he assumes most people are pretty pale, medium, and then there's an exotic area in there. So I'm going to really, I mean, it's interesting. I think it's more interesting than the winter and summer and whatever palettes. But essentially, I went through the book and yeah, that's what happens when you buy these books. You're kind of like, well, that was interesting. Because like I said, there's no recipe for 80s makeup because he assumes you kind of already have reference images or reference pictures. And, there's nothing like a good YouTube video. So today I'm going to be demonstrating what I possibly think is the Joey Mills technique. There's no way for me to know because there's no videos of him doing this makeup. And the only video that I see someone doing their makeup in the 80s is, bless her heart, Miss Joan Collins. I just love her so much. Thank you, Joan Collins, for existing and this video makeup online. Now, I'm going to do my own interpretation, and I'm pretty sure that it was vaguely based on Way Bandy technique. He just used different colors. So let's do the naturally glamorous shot of this look. This look that I'm wearing that's inspired by the cover look, Kim Alexis. I don't know if you can see it, but we're both like serving 80s now. Soft serve, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could go crazy, but actually I'm going to go crazy next week in my full-on 80s look, which will be a big reveal, surprise. Yeah, you're going to be so surprised. Okay, so one of the most important things before doing makeup, and actually I would say something that we tend not to do, especially as we get older, because our skin used to be oily and we're afraid of moisturizing. So this is my routine. Feel free to get inspired. I just want to put it out there because I feel like when I'm working at a beauty counter and I see mature women, I always look at their skin and I always feel it's kind of dehydrated. So this is what I do. Again, I'm dry like the Sahara Desert. So you can moderate this. So I always start with a nice misting of water. It can be another mister. Yes, it can be another mister. This is my hyaluronic acid Vichy 89. Honestly, it's pretty expensive for what it is. You can definitely use Inky List or The Ordinary, I think. So, and bring everything down your neck, hun, okay? Just bring it down your neck. Don't be afraid. Now I'm going to be using this as my day cream. It's a pretty basic cream. As a makeup artist, I don't like to use things that have actives on people because you never know what kind of reaction they'll have. Nice mist. And I like a mist because it helps to stretch the product. So this is a product that has shea butter and has some buttery products. I don't want to say oil because it scares people. But yeah, this product, I really like it. Like I said, there's no actives. And for the winter, it's got shea butter, which is really moisturizing and non-clogging. And I use this in my eyes. Yes, I do. I'm kind of cheap. I'm sure a good eye cream is nice, but I'm just saving money. Jesus saves and I spend. Wait, I think it's the other way around. I save and Jesus spends. Now, what's my final step? Oh yeah, oil. I'll be right back. So because right now in Canada, it's like minus 14 centigrade or anywhere between 4 and 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I use facial oils. This is one that I've mixed myself, but you can buy Sunday Riley have some. You can find it anywhere. I just like to drench my skin in oil in the winter because that way I can actually wear makeup. I'm just massaging this, and I like to massage it because it kind of lifts any sort of dead skin cells you might have underneath. Oils help to exfoliate, and where did I put it? Oh no, I hate this. Where did I put my oil? Oh, it's right behind the bottle, of course. Now, this is a bottle I got from someone else. I just mix my oil in here. I think I can actually put a few drops more because when I woke up this morning, I didn't do this straight away. I wanted to do it in front of the camera for you guys so you could see. Now, like I said, I'm dry. So I don't recommend doing this unless you're as dry as I am. And I do this morning and night. And I'm going to finish off with this eczema balm. It's better than Vaseline. It's kind of like applying shea butter to your skin. I know this is a lot for a lot of you and scary, but not for me. This is what I learned the hard way. Yes, so I'm just gonna massage this in and over my smile lines here. And fun fact, you can't get rid of smile lines with creams. If you moisturize your skin well, then you'll prevent your skin from crinkling harder as you're smiling and making expressions with your face, but you cannot prevent wrinkles. So don't listen to anyone who tells you otherwise. They're just trying to sell you a cream. And bring it down, okay? Just bring it down, all the way down. Sorry, I'm being naughty. Okay, so now my face is ready to get a beat. Okay, so let's beat my face. I'm gonna do the underpainting, and I'm gonna use undertone corrector. So I'm gonna put some of this here, kind of like what I did in the Kevin Aucoin video. I'm gonna use also a lavender one just to get a bit of brightness. In his book, he puts some here. I don't know why, but that's what he does. So I'm going to be using the original Nye Apricot Adjuster. I really like this stuff. It's super brightening, and the texture really goes well with anything. Now, I've been in a Sephora, and I've tried the Huda one. I think it's not bad, actually. If you want to buy something that's more available than the Nye, I would recommend the Huda one. Just go for the peach one, because the other ones, they're really, really pink. The first two, I think they're just too pinky. And if your skin is golden, you're really going to see that pinky tone popping through, and I found it was hard to blend. There you go. I'm gonna put that in there. Let that dry into place. Now I'm going to use a different kind of technique to the ones that I've used in my other video. Now, I'm not sure he used cream products, so I'm using a blush. This one is from, what's it called? Beauty is Life. I'm using this blush, terracotta reddish brown to contour, because I'm going to make myself tan. And I know this is scary. But necessary. I guess that's what you can call makeup. Scary, but necessary. So I'm going to use this as sort of a bronzer / contour. And because there's a lot of oil on my skin, this is grabbing like crazy. So I'm just going to contour like this. And the forehead. Oh my god, I looked sunburned. I kind of the look that I'm going for. Sunburned. So I'm just going to do this on the perimeter of my face. And don't worry if it looks kind of ratchet. You can always blend it out with your finger. Because we're going to put foundation over those. I know, right? I'm just going to contour like that. A very traditional contour. Oh, I scratched myself. Oh well. So I'm going to contour the chin too, because I'm mature. And I kind of want to diminish a little bit the chin, especially make my face look a little bit shorter than what it is, because that's what happens when you get older. Your face gets long. I think this is pretty scary, as usual. Scary, but necessary. Love that. Put some on my nose. Sunburn on the nose. Gonna get a touch on this brush. This brush came with a powder blush by Shiseido. So it's not something you can buy on its own, but I'm sure you can find stuff that looks like this brush. Any sort of compact usually has like this flat brush. Oh, I'm going to put some here around my mouth. Kind of like where the sun would go, because they didn't have bronzers back then. So a nice terracotta blush. I think the side's a little bit stronger, so I'm just going to put a bit more right here. This part of my face here is really gaunt, so I'm trying not to make it more gaunt. Here, for some reason, I have more baby fat, buccal fat than here. So I'm just going to be gentle around this area so it doesn't look too gaunt once I'm done with the contour. I think we're pretty good. We're going to apply the foundation. I'm going to be using the Juvias Place foundation in Cairo because it's the one foundation that I actually find myself using these days, because I'm doing a little bit more full coverage looks on myself, because my skin is kind of aging and there's a lot of redness peeking through. Like when I say redness, I mean there's a lot of red splotches, which I think is just my pigmentation, and it's peeking through, and I'm kind of wanting to cover it, especially when I'm working and I'm doing stuff, you know. Wow, this foundation is really high coverage. So I'm applying it over the underpainting here, and I'm trying not to mix the colors. It's kind of giving that a contour look. And I'm just gonna blend it over the chin like that. Now I'm gonna take a bit more of the foundation. And here I'm just going to, my forehead's not as bad as the bottom of my face, to rub it in here. And I'm going to put some on my neck, blend it into my hairline. So I'm just double checking my chins and that. And I'm gonna take a lighter brush, an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gonna go over the underpainting with that same blusher. I'm just gonna bring some through here, like that, for my contour. I don't want it to be gray. I want it to be bruising or kind of sunburned. I'm just gonna go over this furthest area. I don't want that color too far. It's really hard to manipulate. But since I moisturized the heck out of my skin, it's really easy to move it around. And there you go. Now I'm going to use another blush, which is this one here. It's a peach blush. You won't be able to find this product. It's a discontinued one, and I'm just going to go around this area here like that. Oh yes, like that. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to do the same with my hairline here. I kept a lot of the blush there because I want to really use that contour. And my hairline doesn't really need coverage. Really bringing it down. I'm using this, I guess, brown peach blush. There you go. Just bringing it around my mouth. The reason I'm doing this because I really want that sun-kissed look that she has on that cover page. But I'm trying to do it with another way than a bronzer. And since this is the closest color that you'd have to a bronzer, like I'm using really this in that way. And I'm also put some here on my neck, just so the color connects. Kind of like that. Love it, actually. Now I'm going to go into a coral orange blush. This is a Chanel product. I'm just going to put some here where I would naturally flush on myself, because I really want this to be in part natural, quote unquote. I love that. To be natural. Oh. So there you go. I kind of like that. Yeah, it's starting to look flushed. I'm going to put some on my chin too, because if you've been in the sun, you have that sort of flushed look. I'm going to put some right here too, because I've seen myself sunburned, so it's kind of sunburned, but in a nice way. And I'm going to put some right here on the top, like that. I'm going to put some on my temples here, because this part would catch the sun, like that, like that, and just rub it in. And there you go. And just put some here on top, just just blend everything. You really want the same colors to be a little bit everywhere, so it doesn't look too makeup-y. Gonna get that brown peachy blush and kind of blend this out. There you go. I think this is kind of a very nice finish, but there's more. I just noticed that the daylight was fading, and my camera's not good enough for just natural light, so I had to put some artificial light. So we're picking up where we left off, and I think that's an interesting thing to see, because when I do my makeup, usually I use blue light from the sky because there's not a lot of sunshine coming in, and now the light temperature is a bit warmer, so we'll see how that works and how the look ends up looking. I'm very curious to see, because I'm just winging it today, in case you didn't know. So I love winging it. That's my problem in life. I don't know about you, but winging it is kind of my favorite thing to do, which sometimes is a good thing and sometimes can be very scary. So I'm just going to use the same concealer that I used with the under eye corrector. So I'm going to use this one. It's by Rare Beauty. I like it because it's olive, and God knows it's nice to have an olive under eye concealer. Wow, it's been a long time since I've done this. So I'm just going to use this to blend over that mixture, and I'm going to bring it down into here too. So I'm just going to bring everything in and mix it like that with what's left. Bring this down too. So I'm just going to bring some here around the center of my face, a bit of that concealer, just making sure everything's covered with some sort of foundation or color. Okay. I think I've got a really nice base, and I know that I'm doing it right on myself when my lips start to look very purpley pink. When I'm bronzing myself, the more I bronze, the more my lips become purpley pink, which I'm going to correct. Now, I think everything's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to take a brush here, and I'm going to take this pink blusher from Lancôme. It's a few collections back, a few years back, but there's a lot of blushers right now that have this sort of blue toned to them, which are really popular. You can even try the Huda stuff. She has some really nice blue toned blushers, and I'm using my favorite Sonia G application brush for this, and I'm gonna start patting it in because it's an intense color, but this formula is very compacted, so there's no danger of overdoing it. I mean, Lancôme, yes, it's not the most fashionable, but they know what they're doing. So I'm just gonna bring it slowly into the eye for that really fresh look. I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to do that. Lovely pink blusher. So 80s, cool tone blusher. So we're just going to blend it in here and right on top of where I put those colors. And I'm just going to bring some here because it's a very strong color. It's going to look odd if there isn't some elsewhere. I'm just going to bring it down here on the chin, right here, and I'm going to connect that like that. Same on the other side. Like that, connect. And I'm just gonna bring it into the temple. That very 80s look, which my temples are very sunken in. So I can't really do the full, that really 80s look. And a bit on the upper part of my forehead right here. And over that for that just out of the sun look. Which of course we all know, fake. And on my nose. And there you go. I think this blush application is not bad actually. Just gonna put some more right here, right there. There you go. Very lovely. I'm just gonna put some through the socket here. So we're gonna do that shape that I really, really like from the 80s. I'm gonna take the same pink blusher. I'm gonna get it on this brush here, and I'm gonna bring it from the socket here, and I'm just gonna bring it slowly down onto the cheek. Now, this is a very classic 80s look. You can even continue blending that here. And same thing on the other side. Just gonna bring that right on the cheek. And here you can see how pink that blusher is, because there's no of that terracotta or peach. So we really have like a intense pink color going on. And I love that pink look. And we can even blend it into the cheek here. And I'm just gonna slowly bring it over the concealer, because the concealer is olive, and olive and pink are contrasting colors. They're gonna bring each other out. And there you go. Now I'm ready for a dramatic eye. I'm gonna take this dollar store black liner, because it's not too black, but it's got a nice grab to it. So it's greasy, but it's not ultra black. I'm going to work it into my lash line too. And I'm going to take the dark brown dollar store liner, and I'm just going to go under that color. I'm just going to make it slightly washy, because sometimes you don't want everything to be black. I like a good dark brown or brown, or like a color. And this is a very classic look from the 80s, you know, black around the eyes. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to try something. Put the brown on the side. I'm going to go over it with the black. Maybe that was the best option to do. Who knows? Let's have fun. Let's experiment. So dark brown first. And it's okay if you don't make the perfect shape, because we're just going to smoke it. So you don't need to be perfect. I mean, unless you want to be perfect. So I'm going to do the same with the black. Go over it. The black over the dark brown. Like that. Like that. And I'm just going to extend it very lightly, because we're doing classic glamour. So we don't want it to be too crazy. That's what she said. So I'm going to take a lovely brush, and I'm going to go into the blush color that I used. And I'm just going to smoke that very softly. Kind of like that. And I'm going to keep working it up my lid. Now, if you have hooded eyes, just do the same. Just keep working up onto the brow. That's kind of how it works. I'm just going to put some more here on the outside. Sort of browny terracotta shade, which is actually a blush for deeper skin tones. But I'm just going to use it as an eyeshadow because I really like this sort of brownie color. And this is probably how he would have worked. So I'm just going to work it the 80s way. Like that. And now, like I said, since we blend it all out, I'm going to go back in with the dark brown. I'm just going to line it again. Because this is classic glamour. Love it. I don't know why I do this because I can't see a thing. But I just love looking at you, looking at me. There you go. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to use this orange blush from Lethal Cosmetics, which I think is more appropriate. And I'm going to start doing the same thing that I did with the cream blush that I did in my other videos, but this is a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to blend that into the pink. I'm just going to trail a little bit the edges of this. Here too, I'm just going to trail some of the edge of the blush to blend it. And I'm going to go back into the blush that I used. I'm just going to go over this. Just going to go and blend those edges just so that it looks seamless. And a little bit more here. This orange blush really picks up very fast. Now I'm going to use the orange blush as an eyeshadow just to soften that black here, like that. And I'm just going to soften this too. I'm going to soften this edge with the orange. So let's do the eyebrows with the same eye pencil, dollar store, my favorite, cheap and gorgeous. So since I don't have eyebrows, this is fun. And I'm so used to drawing them on. I don't give a shit. Just to give them, break up any harsh lines that are inside, soften everything. There you go. So slowly turning into a brunette. Kind of like that brunette look. I'm going to use an eyeshadow here from Surrat. It's called Brunâtre. And I'm just going to use that to fill in here because it's a softer brown. Just going to make them fluffy looking anyways. You don't need to do anything special for these. Just fluffy brows. Love it. I'm just going to bring that color in here because I had a unibrow. I plucked it out and it kind of always looks weird. Should have kept my unibrow. Warning, don't pluck your unibrow. Okay. Well, do whatever you want. Okay. I think this is looking pretty 80s. I'm just missing, I think, a touch of, I just want a touch here near my brows, like here at the front. A bit of that orange blush, just very lightly. I'm taking it off on the back of my hand. Just want a bit of that orange right there through the brow, putting the blushing colors through the brow. It's very trendy. Bring that color up here and right even in here just to diffuse it. Okay, so I think we're pretty close. Now I'm going to take an eyeshadow from this collection, Theresa, from this Theresa. There's an H, but you don't say H's. So Theresa is lethal. I'm gonna take this pink shadow here. You were very avant-garde, Theresa. I really love this. I'm gonna take the brush that I used the orange blush on. I'm gonna take it right here, and I'm just gonna use that to blend and brighten and give that Huda trendy effect like that. And I'm also going to take a paler kind of vanilla skin shade. I'm just going to use that to set and brighten right here. Just because it's just easier to control with eyeshadow. It's going to give a bit of coverage. And I'm going to use that bright pinky tone, Pew Pew, to highlight as well. Pew Pew. There you go. Pew Pew. Look at that. Pew Pew. And I'm just going to take that vanilla shade and I'm just going to carve that out just a little bit. Just a wee bit. I know you're not supposed to do that. It's the 80s. Gonna go back with the orange. Yeah, you're right. Back with the orange over this. We really want to bring that shadow up here. Yeah. A bit of orange here too. You want sort of the eyebrow and the eyeshadow kind of to meld together in a strange way. I'm going to use the shape Area 52. Which is like the taupe. Right here, the taupe. Here, where my finger is, this taupe, Area 52. A bit of that peach brown blush. I'm just going to rub it right there on top of that. Just like, oof. There you go. All right, blend everything. Blend. There you go. I'm really liking this. I'm going to tightline with a gel liner. Charlotte Tilbury. This one doesn't exist anymore. She discontinued it. I'm just going to tightline like that. I'm going to bring it down right under here. That black around the eye look. Just going to connect it. I have a little shape here. It's dipping, damn it. Very discreet, very demure. Yeah. Naturally glamorous by Joey Mills. He says he loves it. You bet. I'm going to do the same here. And just bring the line right here and make the same shape. I'm just gonna finish like that. Ah, a good lashing, a mascara. I mean, I love my lip color because it's matching the blush, but we're gonna do a final touch. I'm gonna brighten around my eyes, and I'm gonna be using this palette from MAC that has, it's a concealer palette, a professional one. So I'm gonna be using this color here. So I'm gonna scoop some up with a palette knife. I'm gonna use that just to brighten my eyes, because by putting the blush there and everything, we kind of darkened it. If you'd use a setting powder, that was, oh, that's a bit too much. You might not get that issue. Wow, this is really super bright. So I'm just gonna brighten up this area because I kind of like that bright-eyed look. I'm just gonna put some here, like that, and I'm not gonna do the circle because that would ruin the connecting blush. I'm just gonna brighten this area here, especially because I got blue undertones there, and they come out really easily with any kind of shadow. So I'm just going to set that with the eyeshadow, Pew Pew. I love that eyeshadow, Pew Pew. Okay, having fun. So I'm just gonna set this so it's not as bright, but it's still pinky peach. Like that. There you go. I'm just gonna put some in the corner, why not? Just calm that brightness down. Put some here. Some over this area, like that. There you go. I'm gonna use the blush brush. I'm just gonna clean it on the back of my wrist to be sure that there's no more blush on there. Take a bit of powder, and I'm going to go over around my mouth, like that. And then I'm going to take a colored powder, pressed powder. This is a really old one from Maybelline that I really like, that I got a long time and I'm still using it. But any Studio Fix powder will do the trick, or any powder foundation, one size, all of that. And I'm just going to go over this. Just go over that, set that, and going back to the translucent one for my big forehead. Ooh. Like that, everywhere on the nose, here, like that. Lips. I actually have an Avon lipstick. I don't know when this was made. And I'm gonna put some on. It's got shimmer. And it's that perfect 80s gold shimmer. Yes, perfect. And I'm gonna put a touch of gloss, which is this sample here. I think it's Clarins thingy. It's a bit red. Just gonna put some on the outside, like that, and like that, just to line it. I'm really big on lip liner. There you go. Kind of want to put a bit of that balm right there. Jerry Hall, where are you? Here she is, Jerry Hall. Glamorous, naturally glamorous, by Joey Mills. Do you agree? Do you not agree? This is the 80s, and I love it. This is kind of like really cool. And I'm happy to have found the book. So I hope you enjoy this. Oh, there's some sunlight coming through. Oh, look at that. It's so good. I should do a photo shoot right now. I'm sure it's really good. I'm sure it looks great on camera. What else? That's it. So next week, let's meet up for a super glamorous 80s makeup, which will be disclosed when you show up next week. Until then, my friends, eat well, do your makeup well, and take care of yourself.